Hello and welcome to EDD 920, and this is just going to be a brief introductory video to kind of orient you to the course and how things are going to run for this summer semester. Hope you're doing well and that you're enjoying the EDD program as a whole so far. You made it through your first semester, so congratulations on that. And I do want to say this: you might want to have the syllabus handy, either printed off or pulled up on a device of some kind, because I'm going to kind of walk through the syllabus. I'm not going to read it word for word. Obviously, you know how to read, but there's just some things that I want to highlight in there and talk to you about. And again, this video is going to be fairly brief. Before I get into all of that, just looking at the syllabus, I want to point out my contact information there for you. And I'm going to give you my cell number as well. And I'm just realized I'm going to adjust this a little bit. That light was kind of bright back there. I'm going to give you my cell number just because with summertime, I'm not in the office quite as much, as well as, especially right now with COVID-19 and everything going on, we're still trying not to work from our offices if we don't have to, and I actually live an hour away, so I take advantage of that when I can. So let me give you my cell number so that you can reach me that way if you need to. It's 402-450-2955, and feel free to reach out to me via text or call. You might want to text me first and just say, hey, this is so-and-so, just because a lot of times if it's an unknown number, I won't answer it and I'll let it go to voicemail because, spam and things like that. And I don't mind talking to you on the phone, just that way I know who it is. And if you want to set up a time, or email works great too. So, however it works for you, Canvas, the inbox there, I get those notifications as well. So just encourage you to reach out to me with any questions or challenges or struggles that you're having. Looking at the syllabus here again, you see the course description, and just want to pause here and say this. This is the first Doc Seminar 1 is the first of 4 Doc Seminar classes in your program. And each one, the way the doctoral seminar courses work is they build on one another. And to get you through the dissertation process. Now, there's more to it than that. Obviously, there's a whole lot of work that you have to do outside of the doctoral seminar courses. We also have the 3 dissertation courses that are really just designed as an hour to plug into your schedule at some point for you and your chair to work together. But Doctoral Seminar 1 is the building block foundational course for your dissertation. And the goal for this course is for you to walk out in August. I almost said May because I'm used to teaching this course in the spring. For you to walk out of this course in August with a solid Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 of your dissertation. And that's going to be the subject matter of this semester. Heavily focused on Chapter 2. And the reason for that is this. Chapter 1 is kind of your introductory chapter. You're going to briefly lay out the problem or that you're looking at or the research topic. And you're going to present a problem statement and research questions in that chapter. And kind of hint at methodology. Chapter 3 in your dissertation is your methodology chapter, where you really dig into, here's in your proposal what I'm going to do, and then in your final dissertation, here's what I did. But Chapter 2, the reason I spend a lot of time on Chapter 2 in Doc Sem 1 is if you can walk out of this semester with a really solid, strong literature review, you will be in a good position to move forward with your dissertation. Your literature review will be you digging into books, journal articles, other publications, things like that, finding all the information that's out there about your topic, getting it, reading it, seeing what the experts, the scholars, the researchers are saying, pulling out relevant themes, and then moving us, the reader, to the conclusion to where we agree with you and say, yes, you need to do this study. And that's what I always tell the doctoral students. The goal of your lit review is to get me, the reader, to say, yes, you have to do this study. The research shows that there's value to it and there's a gap in the research. So that's what this semester is all about. And if all of that right there just totally overwhelmed you, you're fine. That's what we're gonna walk through it step by step and get you to that point. So that's the goal. Now, along the way, you're going to learn a little bit about research as a whole. And when I say research in DocSim 1, let me clarify. You have quantitative and qualitative methods. That's doing the actual research, academic research, using subjects and things like that you'll do for your dissertation. Research within DocSim 1 is research of the literature and how to survey literature and read it and see what's there. So that's what we're talking about within DocSim 1. So that's DocSim 1. That's the goal for this course. Then in DocSim 2, which you will take next spring, you will focus in that course on your Chapter 3. And from that standpoint, it'll be a proposed methodology. But you'll be working on finding a theoretical framework and what methodology do you want to use. By then you will have had quantitative and qualitative research methods. So you should be able to make an informed decision based on what you're doing for your research and where your interests lie, what kind of methodology is best, and then working on it from there. And then there's a little bit of gap depending on if you're part-time, full-time between DocSim 2 and DocSim 3. And you'll actually, between those two, you'll actually conduct your research. You'll propose your study to your committee. You'll get IRB approval. You'll conduct your research, and then you will walk into Doctoral Seminar 3 with your data in hand. And then you, in DocSim 3, will write up Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is your results. Chapter 3 is here's what my, Chapter 1, introductory to the idea. Chapter 2, here's why we need to do the study from the literature. Chapter 3, here's how I did my study. Chapter 4, here's what I found in my study. Your results, and you'll learn how to analyze the data and everything else. And then you go into Doctoral Seminar 4. Doctoral Seminar 4 is taking your final semester, and the goal with DocSim 4 is that by halfway through the semester, and this is a goal, doesn't always quite happen this way, but by about halfway through the semester of DocSim 4, you'll have finished your dissertation, Chapter 5, which is your, I call it the so what chapter, because Chapter 4 is all about the results. Chapter 5 is the so what. So what does this mean for us? How do we apply this? What can we learn from this? You'll have finished Chapter 5. You will have successfully defended your dissertation. We will call you doctor. And then the last part of that semester of DocSim 4 is, ideally, if you don't have too many revisions to do, you can hopefully walk out of our program with an article that you could submit for publication. So, right? Again, if that seems overwhelming, hopefully you see the way our program is designed is to walk you through step by step. And again, there's gaps. It's not like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to have it done in 4 semesters. It's based on your schedule, your timing, things like that. So we're going to walk you through. So DocSim 1, that's our first step, and that's what we're talking about right now. So back to the syllabus. So you see the required texts. I would highly encourage you to purchase an APA manual. You're going to use it a lot in this program. We're now on the 7th edition, so that would be my encouragement to you, unless, if you're in a teaching environment at your institution, you may have access to 7th edition APA manual, and so you don't need to purchase it yourself. That's up to you, but you're going to be using it in all of those courses I mentioned, as well as others. So it's a handy thing to have. You see the objectives and all of that good information that I'm going to let you read through. Let's go to the course calendar, if you see it there, for summer 2020. Now, I will tell you, this is the first time I'm teaching DocSim 1 in the summer. So I've made some adjustments because if you don't realize, summer semester is 12 weeks. Fall and spring are both 15 weeks. So I have 3 less weeks in essence to work within this semester. So I made some adjustments, which for this course I don't think is any big deal. It should be fine. But just know here and there might be some, if there's something that looks off, like you only gave us like 2 days to finish this, let me know, because it could be a situation where I compressed things and forgot to allow for that. So just keep an eye on that for me, because like I said, this is the first time I've shifted this one to summer. What I really want to talk about is some of the major assignments. So you can see everything laid out here, and I would say this: I've tried to make sure that I match my due dates between the syllabus and Canvas. Having said that, Canvas is your guide. So if Canvas says that it's due a particular day and the syllabus says something different, you can ask me, but I'd ask you to make sure you defer to Canvas. Unless, again, it's a date back in the spring, and that means I forgot to change a date. But I think I caught everything and changed all the dates on assignments and everything else. But just because usually the syllabus, I create it and then I leave it. But Canvas, here and there, it would be where I would make adjustments if we need to. So just so that you're aware of that. Also notice that some of the modules are 2 weeks in length, some are only 1. So module numbers do not match up to week numbers. So you'll notice module 1 is weeks 1 and 2, module 2 is week 3. Now, hopefully that doesn't confuse you. In Canvas, it's by modules, not weeks. So just so that you're aware of that. Scroll down, excuse me, to evaluation methods. And this is where I'm going to spend the rest of our time just talking through the major assignments. And in Canvas, what you'll see is there's a section, general course information. That's where you found this video, as well as the syllabus and things like that. And then you'll see the next module is major course assignments. And I've got them all listed out there. They're all open already. And so you can see them all there. Then below that are the modules. I do not, the major course assignments, all of these things you see here are only posted under major course assignments. So just be aware of that. They don't show up corresponding to the modules on the times that they're due. Hopefully that statement made sense. So make sure you're looking at general course assignments. Don't depend just on the module you're in for that time. Say, oh, nothing's due this week. Always be looking at your major course assignments for guide, as well as the syllabus, because again, I'm pretty sure I got them all taken care of. So let's talk about a couple of these. The wrap session, that's where you will meet with our library staff. They're expecting you, and you'll meet with them, and they will go over how to use the variety of databases and research functions, search functions, things like that we have in our library. That's a very valuable time for you. So and that is due, I'm going to scroll back up here. I have that due June 14th. I would encourage you to maybe even do it before then. Do it as quickly as possible. Like I said, they're expecting you. They'll do it virtually. They do them virtually all the time, and obviously right now they need to, they're doing them all virtually. But that way, because I'll get that question, people live at a distance, so I need to come in. Nope, they do it virtually, and they're able to do some of them in the evenings, I believe. So schedule that with them as soon as possible, and that's just a completion. When you get it done, you'll post that in the assignment section, say done, and then they send me a list too. The city training, I can't remember what city stands for right now, but that is our certification basically that says you have gone through the course for ethical research. And I talk more about that in the module where we talk about ethics. But just so you know, in case you're not aware, in our nation, we've not always been super ethical in the way we approach research, especially with human subjects. And so this training brings awareness to that and helps us know how to protect people, especially vulnerable populations, things like that. You cannot get your IRB approval for your study without having completed the city training. So we put it here into DocSim 1. It's not hard, but it's somewhat time consuming. So you'll see that it is due August 2nd. I would encourage you not to wait till the end of the semester, because you'll notice there's a lot of stuff due right at the end. If there's, as you look at the schedule for both for you, for your summer, as well as with this course, and if you're taking other courses, there might be a window where you're like, there's not a lot due. That'd probably be a good time to work on that city training. Some of you may have already completed it for your current roles. If so, that's fine. Just upload the certificate and it's done. But again, that's just 50 points to make sure you get it done. Let me know if you have any questions on that. The mini lit reviews. These are probably the most important thing, because again, this is what's going to help build to your lit review. I call them mini lit reviews because your lit review that you will do for your dissertation, and you see that down below, the rough draft lit review, and then revise. I should even call it, I guess I could just call it rough draft chapter 2, but anyway. What we're shooting for there is about 20 to 25 sources. Works cited kind of thing. The mini lit reviews, I ease you in. So the first one there, which is due 2 weeks after the course starts, is, I think I gave you 3 articles. I supplied those for you because what I want you to focus on in that one is just how do I pull information out, and I have some lecture material to help you with that. And then mini lit reviews 2 through 4, you will find 3, and then it kind of builds up from there, articles related to the topic that you've chosen, and you're going to be doing that early on. You'll see that in the discussion forums, things like that. So and then I'll be giving you feedback on your writing, feedback on how you're analyzing the articles, how you're pulling out themes, things like that. So just keep working on those. Those are designed to help ease you into that big assignment, which then you'll see is the rough draft lit review. That is due on July 26th. And the reason for that is, so you'll turn in that big rough draft lit review on July 26th. My goal, fortunately, this isn't a huge number of you in this class. My goal would be to have that back to you within a couple of days. So that's a Sunday night. Hopefully, maybe by Tuesday, I can have everyone's graded and back to you with feedback so that you can then revise it. You have about 2 weeks to revise it. In the meantime, you'll also be turning in rough draft chapter 1. Now, chapter 1's a lot shorter than chapter 2, or it should be. And so that's due the Sunday, and then class is done on Friday. So that's going to be a real quick turnaround for me to give you feedback, as well as then for you to make revisions. But my goal on that is you'll turn that in by Sunday night. I'll have it back to you by Monday evening. Now, if you want to turn those in ahead of time, I'm not going to complain, because that gives me a little more time to read them and give you some feedback. But that's where I was saying end of the semester is kind of compressed. I would like to give you more time, but I also want to give you time to build into that. So those are kind of the big major assignments. So the rough draft lit review, and then chapter 1. Now, I would say this. If you are taking my feedback all along and you turn in a really good chapter 2 and a really good chapter 1 for those rough drafts, you're not going to have a lot of revisions to do that final week of course. So that might be, that's your motivation to have some really good quality work for those rough drafts, because then you can kind of sit back and, relax that last week or focus on maybe another course that you're taking. This semester, I just finished up grading these, and there were several of the students who really it was just a matter of putting the two things together and cleaning up a couple of things, and they were done with that final assignment. So I think that covered everything that I wanted to in this introductory video. Let me know as you have questions, reach out to me. This really, there's not a lot of lecturing in this course. You're going to see that because that's not the point. Most of this kind of work is you got to jump in, roll up your sleeves, and do it. So there's some guidance that I try and give you, but overall, it's just a matter of you jumping in and doing it. So get on that wrap session, get that scheduled and taken care of. And again, I'd encourage you not to put off the city training, but maybe even be working it all along the way. Because again, it's not hard, but it'll take you some time to do. So let me know if you have questions. Great. I'm glad to have you in the course, and I'm looking forward to a great summer.